There has been a major AEW creative change for Blood and Guts. Plus, a former AEW talent is planning an in-ring return, and future WWE plans for Logan Paul. It's all in the wrestling news right now. Blood and Guts on the horizon. However, bit of a creative pivot coming for this year's two-cage, big stage, double ring bonanza. I know it's only one cage. Shut up. But the ring, what's happening?
It's all right, Tom. Don't panic, right?
Having a little sleep.
This comes from Fightful Select. They say Danielson's injury occurred at Forbidden Door and caused several adjustments creatively for AEW. There were plans for Danielson to wrestle more on television following Forbidden Door, and he was to be involved in Blood and Guts, targeted for July in Boston.
Blood and Guts is going to be the BCC versus the Elite, and it looks as if Bryan Danielson isn't going to be factored into that match anymore.
So I wonder then if we just get a 4-on-4 affair, or if we substitute someone in for Danielson on the BCC side.
We get an honorary member.
Yeah, maybe.
So we have Moxley, we have Wheelie Huta, we have Claudio Castagnoli, Takeshita.
Yes.
And then presumably it's going to be Kenny, Matt, Nick, Paige. I think that works fine.
That does work fine. That's true.
fine.
But what about Kingston in all of this? With the stuff that's happening with Kingston and Moxley at the moment.
I guess you've got to put Kingston
and then
in.
him and Claudio as well. You know what I mean?
So we need one other.
So that's what I'm thinking. Maybe we substitute someone in. I'm not too sure who at this moment in time. Let us know who you think in the comments down below.
Repo Man. There we go.
Yes, Repo Man. Absolutely.
Yeah, let us know. As far as Bryan Danielson's current plan's concerned, obviously he's been taking a lot of time not competing, but behind the scenes working. Fightful Select say that Danielson has been lauded for what he provides creatively. He's been working on the first several weeks of AEW Collision Creative as of late, and we're told that Danielson has been very valuable in speaking with talent about how they want their creative handled and the ways to communicate things between creative and talent. There's something to be said for having a guy like Bryan who has been in the ring that I think helps. I think you can have excellent writing written by a non-wrestler, but I think it adds an extra bit of gravitas.
Yeah, of course.
If you have got that.
I agree. Just through his whole entire career is just an absolute plethora of knowledge, right? He's been from the Indies, Ring of Honor, WWE, the big ones, AEW. I feel like he obviously at this point knows what works and sort of what doesn't within a sense for certain people, and what could be more beneficial to them to sort of push them further and develop their characters and storylines.
And it's good as well, I think, as well as having him in there now. I think it's good long term for Bryan Danielson to have something that he can do that doesn't involve him, getting his forearm broken in the ring every couple of months.
Course, yeah.
Because he had a long spell away, and there was a point in WWE where his career was done, and it's great to see him back, but he won't go forever.
No.
And I think it's nice that he has a role almost waiting for him in AEW where he can put all that skills to good use.
Yeah.
And keeps him around for maybe the odd match here and there.
Yeah, I like it.
I don't think Bryan Danielson needs to wrestle every week.
No, me neither. And we've sort of been seeing that as well, obviously, with the stuff prior to Forbidden Door. It felt like it was very sparse, sort of in preparation for the bigger matches, like the one with Okada at Forbidden Door. So maybe again going forward, I know here it obviously said there was some sort of there was plans for him to wrestle a bit more frequently on television following Forbidden Door, but maybe that is kind of like the way that we go forward now in terms of just sparsely for the big matches and whatnot.
Just use whenever he's needed for those big events.
Yeah.
An in-ring return is on the horizon for a former AEW talent. Who are we talking about?
We're talking about Sadie Gibbs, who announced her retirement in April of 2021. She's now announced she's returning to the ring.
Forever. I will love you forever.
Gibbs announced that she'll be partnering with Envigor Media to produce a documentary all about her comeback.
Now, Gibbs hasn't wrestled since AEW Dark back on October 30th, 2019. She hasn't had a character arc since 2019. You better get one. She then announced her retirement April 26th of 2021, saying that she wants to focus on her fitness career. Obviously, things have changed there.
Yep.
And she's getting straight back out into the wrestling world next year. Andrew and I both realised that we've seen the same video.
We have, yeah.
I need you to go out and buy eggs for Bart. I do go buy eggs for Bart. So the mission begins. If you know, you know. If you don't, apologies. Now, talking about coming away from the ring, going back to the ring, let's go back to going away again. Xavier Woods, in a lovely conversation with Chris Van Vliet, was talking about his plans for when he finishes the wrestling.
He did. He said, definitely G4 is the job that I'm going to be transitioning into once I'm done. I'm also learning bass as well. I have aspirations to be a studio bassist. So, for all you artists in the next 5 or 7 years, hopefully by the time you guys are big, I understand how to play a bass and you hit through Atlanta, I'll play the bass for your album.
There's going to be a whole bunch of albums in years to come with Xavier Woods on bass.
I can't wait for those either. I love watching his progression through sort of when he first got his bass. He was like, I've always wanted to learn bass, and then seeing his progression, he's really improved in a short amount of time as well. And then also obviously leaning towards the video game and stuff as well. He is an encyclopedia when it comes to video games, so it makes sense that he would love to go and do something that he's passionate about in that field as well.
It's reassuring to hear guys like Bryan Danielson, like Xavier Woods, have got those plans in place post wrestling. So they're not going to just burn themselves out wrestling for as long as they possibly can. There's irons in the fire for when they come away, and good for Xavier Woods. We'll end on some stuff about Money in the Bank, which is tomorrow from the O2. In that, they're London, apples and pears, etc. Congestion charges. Fightful Select give us a little update on Logan Paul, don't they?
Yeah, so Fightful Select say, we've heard rumblings that a Brawling Brute / Logan Paul program was discussed for after Money in the Bank.
So would this lean more into the idea of Logan Paul winning the briefcase or less into the chance of him winning the briefcase?
I feel like less. We were reporting yesterday, weren't we, that if Logan did win the briefcase, it would sort of maybe perhaps signal that there was going to be a feud there between LA Knight and Logan Paul. But this here sort of suggests to me a little bit that hopefully won't be the case, that he wins the briefcase and we can see LA Knight go on and do his fine.
Sheamus was speaking to Metro.co.uk recently about a bit of dissatisfaction, a bit of frustration over creative at the moment, just saying that they've not really been given anything to really get their teeth into, how the Brawling Brutes. Rich Holland said something in a politer tone where he just said, no one's really seen what I can do yet.
Yeah.
And I think they're both valid points. I think that Brawling Brutes have been in the mix for quite some time, but we haven't really seen the best of them yet, I don't think.
No, I don't think so either. I'm actually quite intrigued by the dichotomy of, obviously, you've got Logan Paul, the megastar YouTuber, comes swagging in and doing his thing and is incredibly good at it. The evil man. I can't believe he's so good at it. But then you've got the Brawling Brutes, just like hard-hitting, gritty wrestlers too. I kind of like the differences between the two there. So if we do get a feud, I'm excited to see how it all plays out between the two.
I'm excited to see what happens when Ross and Fraser have some adventures in London. They are there as we speak. I think by now they will have been speaking to some of the stars of WWE ahead of SmackDown tonight. Ooh. And we'll be keeping you up to date with what they've been up to on our YouTube channel as well. Then we've got Money in the Bank live reactions tomorrow with Andrew and Adam to crown the first ever Cultaholic WWE Predictions Champion.
I'm looking forward to it. I believe the pre-show starts at 7, so catch us there, youtube.com/cultaholic/live.
And there'll be Americans who work Saturdays going, oh, this time doesn't suit me. Welcome to our life. It's on our time this time. Get yourself all riled up for Money in the Bank with 9 pitches and predictions right now on the channel. And once it's all done and dusted, what happened and all that other good stuff as well on the channel as well. But make sure you're with Andrew and Adam, youtube.com/cultaholic/live tomorrow from 7 o'clock for live reactions and for the latest wrestling news throughout the weekend. You can check out cultaholic.com. Geese.
Love you, bye.